Lake Worth, Florida. I want to make a quick little video, do some yapping and metal detecting. Let's change out this other camera and get my face off of it. Maybe like that. Still recording? Yeah, I'm recording. I haven't made a video in a while. For good or bad. Why? I don't really know. I don't really know why. I definitely have a lot to talk about. This moon is ridiculous. I want to talk about so many things that have changed recently in our culture, or whatever. Or update on the state of affairs here in its existence. Talk about some personal challenges I'm facing, which is not fun. It's not a lot of fun right now for me. I'm 55 years old, and I've been a chef for 30 years. Ironically, unironically, I don't know. I feel like I might be getting some ageism going on here. So that's where the irony comes into play, because ironically I am like probably about as valuable a chef as you can get right now. I mean, I'm like clicking on all cylinders. I care about people first and foremost. I understand I've seen so many things. I understand how to face challenges in kitchens and restaurants. Whatever, I know clubs, I know events, I know catering, I know a lot of things. I'm valuable in many ways. And yet, the last couple positions I've landed, in a nutshell, there's like a theme going through it all. It's kind of like, why do you have to care so much? Why can't you care less? The word careless is literally in it. Care less. And man, that does not feel good. No, that does not sit well with me. I cannot care less. I don't know. I'm sure I could. And that's pretty much what's going on. That's the state of food and beverage here. Let's get this camera off and I'll keep talking here. I mean, that's the state of food and beverage in probably a state of a lot of things, but I'm gonna try not to sound like that old guy, talking about generations and stuff. But I mean, it's obvious that people do care less. Quite frankly, maybe they should. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we're wrong. Maybe we've been wrong all this time. I don't have much to show for it. And I've got like, suppose I got 10 years left of work. And I can't even land a job right now to utilize my skills. And I quit 2 jobs back to back. Somehow one job I interviewed executive chef, and it was one of the better interviews I've ever done. Oh, by the way, here's my setup. Can't see that well. Let me put this on real quick. Check this out. There you go. This is I'm sorry. How's that? This is a Mind Lab Vanquish. Got a couple settings. Sorry to get the camera. Sorry. Has iron settings and a little horseshoe. Dollars is coins supposedly. I usually keep it on the jewelry setting. I find I do well. Sensitivity up all the way. Volume up all the way. I love this thing. I got it for cools of water. I bought it for like $75. It was probably $200 brand new. They make $500 ones, obviously. But this thing's great for me. I mean, I'm shocked at how. And no, I don't really care. I'm not gonna find anything now, and I don't really look. I just want an excuse to get outside and make a video. So this was take 5 because I get sidetracked. So let me get back on task. I took a job somehow during an interview, the last interview, with a big hotel company. I guess I could just say it, with Marriott. I hadn't worked for Marriott. Almost a few times, thought about it, whatever. Good company, I guess. And I was there for 2 weeks. 2 weeks. I ended up being the only chef on property. Executive sous chef. Was having a baby. I had my son. I was out for a day, if that. So I told this guy, I mean, I guess, take as much time as you need, you know, all that. But oh, he did. He definitely did. So I was there for 2 weeks. I was miserable. I knew I was going to leave. I don't drink anymore, and those thoughts were popping up. So I knew I had to get the hell out of there. Dancing. Hey. And so I knew there was no. I knew I had to get the fuck out of there. And when I started having ideas of drinking, yeah, it's time to go. I'm like, let's not putting that in my life again. Anyway, I tried very hard. Place disorganized, dirty. They had just reconcepted the restaurant like a couple years earlier. They had a beautiful like kitchen suite. Hester, it's called, I think. Kitchen suite, gorgeous, beat up, dirty, grungy. And I don't know, I had big high hopes, man. I really did. Because my first day there, all the department heads kind of greeted me. Well, let me back up. So I thought I was going to get the executive chef position, which I would have crushed it and turned it around for him had I done that. Somehow during the conversation, the F&B director who was interviewing me, who I really liked, I still like, I guess, I don't know. Somehow I became a sous chef. And that was the conversation. Now I'm being talked about as a sous chef position. And I guess my ego is bruised. Almost definitely it was bruised, but I basically, I knew they're going into the holidays. They need somebody, right? And I took the job to find out at what point of the conversation, how I became this man's eyes, not executive chef, but sous chef. That's why I took the job. That sounds crazy. I'm going to tell people that. That's the truth. I did find out. Whatever. We can talk about another point. So I worked through New Year's Eve. Knew I was going to go. And I rocked it out New Year's Eve and I left. I mean, I could have stuck it out. Maybe with time, like people really liked me. I liked them. I don't know. That's kind of been my experience lately. I took another job. I knew I was taking a sous chef position. And if I do that, it's got to be for a very, very good chef. So this man worked with Nobu. Good chef, my age. But he's a drinker, going through it right now. I thought that my whole life and defeated a couple of times, but I think finally for good is where I'm at now. But drinks like a bottle a night, miserable guy going through another divorce. From Miami, now he's up in Jupiter, Florida, and he's the kind of guy who just yells at people randomly, causes fear in the kitchen, which causes chaos in the kitchen. No one likes him. What a shitty environment, you know? 5 days I'm there, and I knew I had to leave. And this has happened to me a couple times here now. I moved back to Florida right before COVID. Again, I was in Montana for 5 years. And, man, it sucks. And I feel like there's ageism involved. A little bit. I'm 55. The irony is that I'm more valuable to a kitchen now than probably any point in my career. And I feel like all cylinders are cooking, like creativity, menu writing, everything's just clicking right now. And I'm a little quirky. More than a little quirky. I'm weird sometimes. And socially awkward, especially in interviews. But like, when I get rolling and I have my own kitchen, I build this very stable work environment where people are excited to come to work and they feel like they accomplish something each day. They feel like they're growing and learning, and we're all doing it together. And they feel it's the opposite of what I just came out of with this guy, Sonny. I shouldn't have said that, but I like people. I mean, I put people first. If you notice too, bring up the culture change, Trump and everything. Trump is a people person, and that is key, man. It really is. I'm not saying I'm modeling something with Trump is silly, but I don't hate the guy. I was extremely. We'll get to that in a minute. So I could destroy it, right? And right now I'm struggling, and I'm at the point where I need to go back to work. I obviously have to go back to work, but I'm not getting a lot of calls. I have a recruiter working. Anyway, fuck. I don't even know why I'm talking about this on YouTube. It's stupid. And not that I want to give up on everything, but this place is fucking weird. And it's like everything's a challenge. Right? Everything's just a challenge. This one guy I saw made a video. Said it's an alien race that challenges us and sees how we do in times of trouble. I mean, I can totally see that. It's simple. It's easy. I can see that. God, this could be a game for God to see how we are. I've had experiences where all of this stuff, this mundane stuff I'm talking about, our jobs and money and all this shit, is so insignificant in the grand scheme of things. I'm aware of it. That it's like ridiculous to even talk about it, like what it is. I don't know why we're here or what this place is exactly, but I know it's not to make a lot of money. What was it? Yeah, I smoked my last vice. I've tried to quit that. I mean, it doesn't matter, whatever. So, Matt McKinley's channel, Quantum of Consciousness, is the closest thing to how I agree this place is, what this place is, the paradigm of Earth experience. Simulation, we could talk about it. None of that really matters. Simulation, God, I mean, it all comes back to God. An interesting thing I want to share is I for sure, while I was a lifelong atheist, fought it so hard. I was a dickhead atheist too, like a militant guy. Like I looked down on people. I didn't look down. I think I was more jealous, but I made it seem like I thought people's religion, God religion, are dumb. Of course they're not. I'm to the point where, I mean, I read the Bible every night. I'm at the point where I'm pretty sure the Bible is the truth. Pretty sure. I'm sure Jesus is God. I'm sure Jesus was here as God. We don't think they're into that. This place is definitely not. It's a stage. All right, I just turn off for a second. Somebody's walking by. Not that I'm worried. I'm just, I'm trying to be nice. Yeah, this place is a stage. It's a game, important game. But I'm fully convinced the point of this. At the end of the day, the whole point of this, we're tossed temptations in our face nonstop. Nonstop. And we have free will. And the point of this is to have your soul uncorrupted and intact when you take your last breath. That's the point of this. And you see people, I mean, people anymore, they're walking around and they've given their souls, and just the shit that's coming out in the world. I mean, it's like this unmasking, unveiling of how the world actually works. I guess you'd call me a conspiracy theorist. I don't know. Conspiracy realist, a truth community, a truther, truth researcher. I mean, our experience here, like just take the average Joe, whatever. Super Bowl was last night, Super Bowl watching person. I don't think there's any like people anymore who don't see shit, but whatever. I am not that weird anymore. My thoughts, conspiracy stuff is not that weird anymore. I mean, it's coming true. The whole Alice Jones is right meme. I mean, just look at what the past couple of years have brought. And that is what turned it for me for the Bible and for God. The last time I got sober, hopefully it is going to be the last time ever. I literally had demonic spirits swirling around my head, and for sure there were demonic entities trying to get me to kill myself. And I was going away to get help the next day, and they didn't like that, and telling me things like, my son would be better off without me here, and just give up, and all this negativity. And I mean, shit, I'm to the point where, and they lost. Actually, I think I called on Jesus at one point, and they scampered away like roaches. I mean, it really is stunning, like the evil here, right? And we see it all the time. I've always known it's here. I've always known since I was a little boy, since I could formulate thoughts. The way this world is set up is not how it's supposed to be. And I grew up in the 80s, and it was an awesome time to be alive, awesome time to grow up. A really awesome time to grow up. I mean, I don't want to go down that road, but I was out in the woods a lot growing up, by myself, with friends, but I was by myself in Fantasyland. And I just knew, like I saw, like I was, bummed out my mom out of work, I was bummed out my dad out of work, and school, like all that just is like bullshit. And I knew it at a deep level, very deep level, at a very early age. And it only got worse from there. When I found alcohol and drugs, that alleviated all those feelings. I remember, the first time I drank, it's a common thing addicts say. But it all went away, and it was like okay for a while, and it was years and years I fought that shit. I was a young chef, and this business is like this. I've seen many people's lives destroyed and dead, and got myself in these weird, awful situations, and I'm not regretting it. I wouldn't take it back. But I succumbed to all this temptation, right? I was down the wrong path. Of course I was an atheist. Of course, I was a nihilist. I didn't care. I didn't care about anything. Relationships and stuff, and I always worked hard, but at the end of the day, I just knew things were fucked up, and I was pissed off about it. And so if there is a God, I guess for a while I called myself agnostic, but the truth is I always was agnostic, right? I needed something to be shown something. But I was pissed. I was pissed about God. I was pissed about the Bible says this place is Satan's realm right now. That's so clear. It's crystal clear. You can see it now. And I think we're headed. Apocalypse means unveiling, right? Unmask, whatever. It is insane. What a time to be alive. It is, what a crazy time to be alive. I have a 12-year-old son now. I said I never wanted kids. Thank God. Thank you, God, that I had him. It changed a lot about me. Almost everything, really, but instantly, the day he was born, I felt this, like, sudden awareness of how self-centered I've been my whole life. It wasn't the last time I drank or used, but, I mean, it wasn't fun after a long time. It stopped working and you just couldn't get out of it. Near death numerous times. Surprised you didn't be here. Maybe I am dead. There's a whole bunch of theories about that, but that's what I'm trying to say. So I'm pretty sure that that's what this place is. And I tell my son these things. I've thought about this a lot. Like, knowing what I know, I've spent hours and hours and hours researching conspiracies and 9/11 and every fucking thing you think of. Like, a lot. I know a lot of stuff. Yeah, do I? No, of course it's not all true. It's like, the thing about, Matt talks about this a lot on Quantum Conscious channel. It's like the bog, he calls it. And man, if that's not true, it's a reality generating. It's a conspiracy generating. It generates, this life generates for us what we want, what we expect, or look for. It's an endless bog. It just keeps throwing you more and more stuff. And I really can see through it now. Mostly. I do get caught up in it. Right now I'm going through a tough time. And it's making me feel like what's next here, you know? This stupid huge car payment. What is the point of the way I'm going down the road I'm going down? And to prove myself and beg for a job so I can work 80 hours a week. Which I don't mind working. I like it. When things are going well, I really enjoy it. I enjoy being around people. I enjoy building a team. And it's rewarding. It feels good to crank out a perfect dinner, plated dinner for 100 at the same time. Plated serve. Like, it's just nice when things are clicking. It's a lot of work. And I'm tired of it. I've done 30 years. I've done a long time. Tired. But I do like it. I'm afraid I'm not good at anything else. But back to the reality, like, so my son reeled me in one day. He said, "Dad, you can't talk to me about it, all this stuff." I'm like, "Thank you for saying something." He told me, he set a boundary, It was bothering him. Of course it bothered. Of course it would. I knew, I was aware. I don't tell him like super crazy stuff, but I tell him a lot of things, like things to be on guard for, I guess you could say. Like, here's the way the world might be, shit like that. There's a lot for a kid. I said, your dad might be totally wrong, dude. I probably am. But this is what I think right now. So this is what I think right now, and that's what dads and parents are supposed to do, like impart useful information to their kids, so maybe their life will be a little better in some way. And they'll, of course, not listen to their parents, because that's what we do. He's a good guy. I got a great kid. Anyway, I'm happy he did that. I backed off a lot. I knew it would be fun, but I asked myself this question before all this, when I was younger. Would I want to know all the things I know at a young age? And I think I would. I think it would feel like a Band-Aid ripped off, but I would want to know. And I feel an urgency right now for what he's living in right now. I mean, this is the next 10, 20 years. It's not going to be, I mean, we're not looking at systemic total collapse or things like that. It might be, I guess it's a possibility, but it's going to be fucking weird and more symbolic, occultish creepiness and power, and it's just, there's a faction, people, whatever, that rule over elites, that rule over us, and they're fucking weird and they're evil. And that brings it back to what I was saying. I recognize that, the evil, right? The evil, so much evil. Kid stuff, all this shit that's gonna come out, the islands, Epstein, all this. And there's lies everywhere too. And they love their symbols, they love their numbers, and they give each other nods and the one eye, all this shit. Fucking exhausting. They exhaust me. And they're disgusted by it. And I thought long and hard, I said, it's just, they're evil, right? It's just evil. I'm looking at the face of evil, right? That's what's going on here. Somehow we're hijacked or controlled by evil people, whatever. They might even be people that control us, but not supposed to know, and all that. And they've built this system, structure. We go to school, this stuff that, as a kid, I'm like, something's not right. No, something's not fucking right. It's not how we should be living. Then you get into Tartaria, mud flood, all this shit. It's so possible too. Let's forget that for a second. So I recognized the evil. I said, okay. At the very least, they believe it, right? 100%, they believe it. I believe they believe it. I should maybe look into it and believe it too. I do believe it. And I rebuke it. I rebuke thee, Satan. I want nothing to do with this shit. I mean, I've seen some shit in my days too, and I've done things I'm not proud of, for sure. I've done things I have to make amends for, had to make amends for, and still will. Maybe I can never make amends. A lot of things I'm not proud of, especially my drinking and drugging days. And I did those things. I'm not saying it was not my fault. I did them. But it's like it's set up that way for us. It's set up that way for us to fall. That's not God, by the way, doing that. He knows, he's aware of it. Look, let's be honest. There's a good chance that the entirety of the Bible, 99.9% true. There's a good chance. I was just blown away. So anyway, my conspiracy research basically brought me into Jesus-loving, Bible-reading Christian. How? I started looking into giants and all that. I can't believe I had friends growing up and I've been to church and stuff like that. Never once did I hear the word Nephilim growing up or giants. There were giants. Giants were a thing, for sure. They found giant bones in the 1800s. Giants were all around. And the early ones were big, and they controlled us, and they were the kings. And they were probably the gods, and the demigods, and Greek gods, all that stuff. Men of renown. So those were fallen angels from the war in heaven. Boom. Led by Lucifer, fall, and now they're the unclean spirits, and they're still here, and they want our soul, and that's what it is about. That's what this is about. I believe my soul's intact. I never did anything nearly like it would make me feel like I'm not worthy of having my soul. But I think it is a gift for sure. And I think you never know. Maybe I'm not worthy. But I definitely believe now. For sure. For fucking sure. And that's what's going on here, I think. Anyway. So that kind of stuff, it's tough stuff to hear, for a kid to hear stuff like that. I mean, the earth is flat. The earth is flat. There's no way around it. I believe in biblical cosmology. That's obvious. So everything we know is a lie here. That pissed me off. And they want to hide all these things. Whatever. Getting sidetracked. Anyway, I'm being tested again, I feel like. But it's exhausting. The tests are exhausting. I'm tired. I'm tired of being tested. I'm not saying I'm giving up. But I'm gonna plod along, you know. I guess the video's gone long enough. What are we at? 30 minutes? Perfect. Let's end it. I don't know. I didn't get anything with my stupid metal detector. Anyway, enjoyed the video, great. Hopefully you got something out of it. We live in interesting times. Maybe I get the video at 33 minutes, stop at 33. Matt will think it's funny. We live in interesting times and there's interesting things coming. If nothing else, enjoy the ride. I mean, it's gonna be a ride. And that's what I feel like sometimes, just like, lose the car payment. It's like, just trim it all down, you know? Trim it all back. And live simply. I thought about becoming a monk, just devoting my life to none of this shit is money, jobs, all career, all this stuff. When you're on your deathbed and you're looking back, it's all bullshit. And everyone knows it. Pretend it's so important. Everyone fucking knows it. You know it. You know it's bullshit. Now I'm not going to 33 minutes. That's crazy. Anyway, I'll try to do another video soon. But we'll look at the moon here. Man, let's get my dumb mug off here. Thanks for listening. Have a good night. God bless you.